Now it's about stamping my name in boxing.
He's a good fighter. He's a good fighter, a strong fighter, young fighter.
Yeah, but all my fights, I don't like predicting nothing, you know what I'm saying? I just know it's gonna be fireworks. That's all I say every time.
In the week leading up to the highly anticipated fight between Canelo Alvarez and Edgar Berlanga, the two boxers sat down for a face-to-face interview. The tension and bravado that marked their initial press conference last month were palpable once again. However, this time, Canelo Alvarez chose not to engage in verbal sparring with Berlanga. Recognizing that Berlanga's bravado stemmed from nervousness, Alvarez maintained his focus and composure, letting his opponent's carelessness speak for itself.
You feel me? And with me, man, you know,
When Canelo fights, he's different.
Oh, of course, I know.
And I can do whatever I want.
Canelo Alvarez preferred to let their fists do the talking on fight night, opting to settle the score in the ring. Edgar Berlanga, known as the Chosen One, confidently believes he possesses a unique quality that sets him apart from the 61 opponents Alvarez has already defeated. Berlanga expects this special attribute to shine through on September 14th. Undeterred by Alvarez's calm demeanor, Berlanga ramped up his trash talk, going even further than before in an attempt to rattle his seasoned opponent.
That's what's gonna make the difference, you know what I'm saying? It's not everybody keeps saying about the power, about, oh, you big, you strong. It's cool.
And when you feel the
Canelo Alvarez is set to face a challenger who shows no respect for his storied accomplishments in boxing. Edgar Berlanga boldly promised in an interview to knock out Alvarez within 6 rounds. Even with Alvarez standing right in front of him, Berlanga reiterated his claim, confidently asserting that Canelo won't make it past the 6th round on fight night.
You know what I'm saying? But it's about the mentality, the IQ, and that's just all it is for September 14th. I really dreamed about all of this shit, man. Like everything that's going.
Edgar Berlanga claimed that while Canelo Alvarez has had an impressive career, it's now time for him to pass the torch. He mentioned that Hein Monga was once seen as a potential successor, but he failed miserably. Berlanga promised not to repeat such a failure and vowed to secure a decisive win over Alvarez. Berlanga emphasized that he's in peak condition to defeat Canelo and highlighted his boxing IQ as a key factor. Despite his youth, power, and speed, he believes his intelligence in the ring sets him apart, a claim that many find laughable. Throughout Alvarez's career, seasoned boxers with high IQ and technical skills, such as Miguel Cotto, Caleb Plant, Joe Molchallo, Julio Cesar Chavez Jr., and Gennady Golovkin, have all fallen short. These fighters, despite their impressive resumes, couldn't outsmart or outmaneuver the Mexican champion. Berlanga insists that his case is different, but only September 14 will reveal the truth. Canelo Alvarez, on the other hand, sees through Berlanga's bravado. With his extensive experience, Alvarez recognizes that arrogance often masks fear and intimidation. To him, Berlanga's loud and brash demeanor is a facade, hiding the insecurities of a fighter who knows he's stepping into the ring with a true champion.
I dreamed of it, you know what I'm saying? And stepping in front of him, man, is just, you know, another day.
Canelo is just different.
It's either you gonna how they say that?
In the world of boxing, anticipation and hype are often as crucial as the fight itself. As the date for the highly anticipated bout between Canelo Alvarez and Edgar Berlanga draws closer, the tension and drama surrounding this clash have reached fever pitch. Set to take place on September 14th at the T-Mobile Arena in Las Vegas, the fight has captivated fans and pundits alike, promising a night of explosive action and intense rivalry. Canelo Alvarez, a name synonymous with greatness in boxing, is gearing up to face a challenger who shows little respect for his storied accomplishments. With 65 fights under his belt, including 39 knockouts, Alvarez is a seasoned warrior who has proven his mettle time and again. His latest victory, a unanimous decision over Jamie Munguia in May, marked his 4th consecutive win since returning to the super middleweight division after an unsuccessful bid to claim the World Boxing Association light heavyweight title from Dmitry Bivol in May 2022. Alvarez's ability to manage distance and absorb powerful shots with his granite chin has been a hallmark of his fighting style. This resilience and tactical acumen have enabled him to dominate opponents who rely heavily on power. His upcoming fight against Berlanga falls just before Mexican Independence Day, a weekend Alvarez has often chosen for his bouts throughout his career, adding a layer of national pride and significance to the event. Edgar Berlanga, an undefeated prospect with a 22-0 record, including 17 knockouts, is stepping into the spotlight with unshakable confidence. Berlanga's brash demeanor and bold predictions have made headlines, with the young fighter promising to knock out Alvarez within 6 rounds. Despite the veteran champion standing right in front of him, Berlanga has repeatedly asserted that Canelo won't last beyond the 6th round. Berlanga's recent 6th-round TKO victory over Patrick McLuhan in February showcased his power and potential. He believes his boxing IQ, often overlooked, will be the key factor that sets him apart from Alvarez's previous opponents. However, many find this claim laughable, considering the caliber of fighters Alvarez has defeated. The likes of Miguel Cotto, Caleb Plant, Joe Molchallo, Julio Cesar Chavez Jr., and Gennady Golovkin, each with impressive boxing resumes, have all fallen short against the Mexican champion. The psychological warfare between Alvarez and Berlanga has been intense. Berlanga's repeated trash talk and bold predictions have been met with Alvarez's composed demeanor. Canelo, with his extensive experience, recognizes that arrogance often masks fear and intimidation. To him, Berlanga's loud and brash attitude is a facade, hiding the insecurities of a fighter who knows he's stepping into the ring with a true champion. During the pre-fight build-up, Berlanga claimed that while Alvarez has had an impressive career, it's now time for him to pass the torch. He mentioned that Hein Munguia was once seen as a potential successor, but failed miserably. Berlanga promised not to repeat such a failure and vowed to secure a decisive win over Alvarez. Adding fuel to the fire, Oscar de la Hoya, the legendary promoter, didn't hold back his criticism of the upcoming fight. De la Hoya torched the $89.99 price tag for the pay-per-view event, calling it a complete robbery. He predicted that the fight would be a mismatch of epic proportions, with Berlanga being rushed into a fight he's not prepared for, all in the name of chasing a paycheck. De la Hoya's dissatisfaction stemmed not only from the perceived mismatch, but also from his lingering bitterness over Alvarez's departure from Golden Boy Promotions in 2020. He suggested that Berlanga would have been better matched against someone like Caleb Plant, a former International Boxing Federation super middleweight champ, to make for a more interesting and competitive fight. Instead, Berlanga finds himself in over his head, all for the sake of chasing a payday. De la Hoya's rant extended to the entire event, predicting that fans who pay nearly $90 would be left disappointed. He even compared the lackluster boxing match to the UFC event happening the same weekend, stating bluntly that nobody asked for this fight and predicting that it would likely put viewers to sleep. Jose Benavidez Sr., father of super middleweight fighter David Benavidez, also criticized Alvarez's career. He claimed that Canelo has been protected by various boxing organizations, allowing him to make favorable decisions that harm the careers of up-and-coming fighters. Benavidez Sr. accused Alvarez of choosing disadvantaged opponents with restrictive clauses, a practice he believes has denigrated boxing. Benavidez Sr. praised the International Boxing Federation for stripping Alvarez of his championship for evading his fight against mandatory challenger William Skull. Despite Alvarez's argument that Skull did not have the profile to be his challenger, the IBF stood firm in its decision. Benavidez Sr. expressed his hope that more organizations would hold Alvarez accountable in the future. The fight between Alvarez and Berlanga will go head-to-head against UFC 306, scheduled for the same night at the Sphere in Las Vegas. UFC 306, branded as no UFC during riot season, has been a costly project for UFC President Dana White, with production costs exceeding $20 million. The event is headlined by a bantamweight title fight and has generated significant buzz, setting the stage for a direct competition with the Alvarez-Berlanga bout. Canelo Alvarez's legacy in boxing is undeniable. With a career spanning over 65 fights, he has faced and defeated some of the sport's